Give us a sense of what it was like in there.
Well, I just got out of the courtroom. The jury only deliberated for 2.5 hours in this case, and we went back inside so quickly. There was obviously a lot of tension inside that courtroom because of the hostility we've seen building over the last year on both sides. I remember when I saw Karmelo Anthony enter the courtroom, his lead defense attorney, Mike Howard, had his arm around him. His forehead was on Carmelo's forehead. They were in quiet conversation. It looked like that Howard was trying to console or to prepare Karmelo for what's to come, like he knew it would not be a good outcome with the jury coming back so quickly. The courtroom filled up. The judge announced that the jury had a verdict. The jury came in. Nobody on the jury that I could see looked at the defendant when they walked in. They sat down. The judge was handed the verdict. He read, of course, guilty of first-degree murder. At that point, we looked around the room for reaction. I didn't see any reaction from the jurors. Karmelo Anthony, who I was looking at, he stood with his head partially down, his eyes closed very tightly. You could see the wrinkles on the side of his forehead. He was obviously in some kind of agony internally hearing this news. His mother, who was on the front row behind him, leaned against the railing and put her head down. We didn't hear any emotion from Karmelo Anthony, but within just a few seconds after the verdict was read, you could hear him sobbing out loud in a very quiet courtroom. It was an interesting experience to be in there. The Metcalf family, which was told by the prosecutors not to show any emotion, did just that. They were pretty stoic when this verdict came down. At that point, the judge very matter-of-factly said to the defendant, Karmelo Anthony, that your bond, you've been the whole time, more than a year, has been extinguished, and you are now remanded to the custody of the Collin County Sheriff's Office. And you could feel, obviously, the anxiety on his side and on his family when that was relayed to him. They took him out, took him into a side room. At that point, the judge said that he was going to talk to the prosecution and defense about the upcoming sentencing phase or the punishment phase of the trial, which in Collin County begins right after the guilt or innocence phase. And they brought Karmelo Anthony back in after a few minutes, and then we started this punishment phase, which we normally expect them to last about a day and a half, 2 days at most.
Yeah.
This moved lightning fast. It's supposed to include opening statements, witnesses, closing arguments. A judge charged the jury. It's like a separate trial. But in this case, the prosecution waived its opening statement. The defense waived its opening statement. Prosecution rested immediately. The defense called one witness, Kayla Hayes. That's Karmelo Anthony's mother. She took the stand. She was asked by the defense, first of all, if she loved her son. She tearfully broke down and said, "He's my oldest. Of course I love my son. I will always love my son. And he's my baby." And then the defense said, "Pass the witness." And the prosecution then said, "Ma'am, just have one question for you." And that question was, you could still be with your son, right, in incarceration, making the inference that she still has a son to at least talk to and visit, if not, more, because the Metcalfs have no one. Austin Metcalf isn't coming back. And so she said, "Yes, I do," and reaffirmed that. The prosecution rested after, or passed the witness. She was excused, and then the prosecution said, "We rest," and the defense rested, and the judge said he was going to go back and work on the charge to the jury, and once he comes back, which should be around now or soon, once they read that charge, then I'm understanding there's going to be closing arguments on both sides, but I really don't know at this point. There really has been nothing done to try to mitigate Karmelo Anthony's, punishment in this case. He's facing 5 to 99 years in prison. He has no criminal record. I haven't heard anything about a sudden passion defense that can be raised after a murder conviction that can help minimize the amount of time that a person stays incarcerated. I don't know if at this point if that's going to be part of the sentencing. We'll find out here in a minute from the judge and the prosecutor and defense attorneys, but we fully expect this case to go to the jury here in just a few short matter of minutes or hours, and the jury will deliberate as long as they want to into the afternoon and evening. If they don't reach a decision on sentencing, they will be sequestered, and then they will come back tomorrow morning and then come back with a sentence again of either 5 to 99 years in prison. In the case of Karmelo Anthony, which has generated so much hostility, tension, conflict, not just here in North Texas, but all across the country, as we've seen.